Order. Oh, sorry, Ms. Marlene. All right. All right. I'll call to order this September 17th, 2025 regular meeting of the Board of Education. Please rise for the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May we have roll call?
Elizabeth Dolberman.
Here.
Mary Lee Hall.
Here.
Samantha Hall.
Here.
William Hall.
Here.
Jeremy Hash.
Here.
Jennifer Henkel.
Here.
Nathan Henkel.
Here.
James Holly.
Here.
Joseph Wilson.
Here. Thank you. All right. Before we begin, I would like to make a statement. It's been a week. First, I will clarify that consistent with the email Dr. Bryson sent on Friday, the board does not publicly comment on personnel matters in order to give space to our administration to perform their duties. Silence on such matters at this time represents adherence to policy rather than representing any specific opinions. I do have opinions on recent events, however, and I will make those clear. Speaking on my own behalf, Dr. Bryson sent an email condemning the assassination of Charlie Kirk and offering condolences to his family and friends. I wholeheartedly agree and join him in these statements. Further, I will add that I condemn not only the assassination, but the assassination culture that has been developing in our country for some time now, which I believe led to and now surrounds this vile act. I condemn the intentional spreading of misinformation intended to stoke violent action against Mr. Kirk and later to create confusion surrounding the motives of his killer. I condemn the celebration of his death and the near immediate personal attacks on his grieving widow. I condemn the statements that excuse his killing. Mr. Kirk is not the first victim of assassination culture, but he is a victim of some of the most egregious examples I have seen of this phenomenon. I've required some time to process this event. I'm a pretty compartmentalized person, yet the other day, as I was discussing the district's communication with my wife, my throat closed up as I said the words, "the assassination of Charlie Kirk." I had to stop and take a moment. If you want to understand why, you'll have to ask me privately. But I come out of that processing with this. As a school district, this is absolutely not an event that we can ignore or just move past. Different speakers have different audiences, and Charlie Kirk's primary audience was young people. College students, yes, but also many high schoolers and even younger. I've become aware that many of our students are traumatized by witnessing this violent act. They are confused by responses that justify, condone, or even celebrate the murder of a 31-year-old husband and father for speaking and defending his beliefs. They are hurting and wondering if their own lives will be valued if they speak and defend their beliefs. We must recognize that pain, confusion, and fear, and give attention not only to supporting those students as well as we can right now, but to also learn to get better at supporting them. Thank you.
Thank you, President Hinkle.
All right, item 2.01. Can we have approval of the September 17th? I'll make a motion to approve the September 17th board agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Yeah. Do we have any discussion? Any nays or abstentions? Hearing none, that motion carries. Items 3.01 and 3.02. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes for the August 14th school board meeting, as well as the September 15th Personnel and Policy Committee meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Any nays or abstentions? Hearing none, that motion carries. Moving on to item 4.01, the student representative report. Caleb.
Thank you. I want to start by welcoming, he's somewhere here, Mr. Blandon. There's good things to come, I can tell. I've already had a brief conversation with him. He's a very nice guy. I think he'll fit right in the district. And just a couple more dates for you guys. I've got September 19th, this Friday, is mid-marking period 1. It's crazy how fast the school year is moving. And then to mark that, we'll have Colonel Brian McCarthy, who some of you guys might remember his name. He was the commencement speaker, I believe, 2 years ago, and he'll be delivering an inspirational message to the high school, which I'm looking forward to as well. Then we will have a half-day and PM in-service for teachers on the 26th, and then there's the SHS Choir Night, October 1st, and then October 2nd is the JA Real Life program, which from seniors past, the people above me, was a very valuable day to prepare everyone for what comes after high school. Then we'll be hosting SAT testing on October 4th, and then the week of October 6th to the 11th is a very busy week for the high school and the district. We've got our Homecoming Spirit Week. Our theme for the dance will be Fly Me to the Moon. Think Frank Sinatra, old New York, kind of something like that. Very excited for that. Student Council, we've put a lot of effort into planning that, to curating all of our days and our decorations, so I'm very excited. Then on October 6th, we have our first Spirit Day, Music Monday. So you're going to wear some music merch, dressed to represent your favorite artist or your genre. Then the following day on the 7th is Tourist Tuesday. So wear maybe like a vacation tee, a Hawaiian shirt, like a tacky tourist outfit, cargo shorts and a Hawaiian shirt, something like that. Then on the 8th, we have our White Out Wednesday, so wear white. And then similar to White Out Wednesday, we have Dress to Impress or Rock Your Warrior Red, like a red carpet, kind of. Then on the 8th, we have the Powder Puff game, parent-teacher conferences on the 8th and 9th, and a pep rally on the 9th. And then the day of the dance is October 11th at 7 p.m. Then we'll have the October Fun Night, also hosted by Student Council, on October 29th. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, in the interest of being
Long one, I
respectful to
know.
Mr. Blandon's possible plans for the evening, I don't know. I'd like to move item 10.01 up to right now. Mr. Blandon? And I'll turn it over to our Personnel and Policy Chair for this.
Okay. Item 10.01, Athletic Director. I'd like to make a motion to approve appointing Matthew Blandon as Athletic Director at a salary of $108,000 prorated, effective September 2nd, 2025. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Any nays or abstentions? Okay. Thank you. This motion passes. Congratulations.
Welcome.
Do you have any prepared statements? All right.
First, thank you for the opportunity to lead the athletic department here at Susky, as I've picked up on that already. Also, thank you to Dr. Bryce and Dr. Sterner and the rest of the admin team in welcoming me and helping me to get settled in over the past few weeks. It has been very helpful, especially as we're trying to transition and move from Ohio. So, and then in addition, I want to thank my wife, Hannah, and my kids. At the end of the day, they're the one allowing me to continue my career in educational athletics, and they're the ones that support me and love me every day and give me that encouragement to keep pursuing my dream. Just a quick glimpse into me and my leadership. I stand in front of you as a product of educational athletics and my experience through schooling and high school and college. I call it the classroom. That's not the traditional classroom. It's the one that's outside the walls that many student athletes connect with that might not connect in the classroom. In there, they're learning the lifelong lessons that are built on and reinforced regularly, such as trust, teamwork, discipline, commitment, servant leadership, and empathy. It helps them prepare for life beyond now that sometimes can be overwhelming, and it gives them the tools that they are able to use to succeed later on and be a productive citizen with a lasting impact. Over my last 2 decades in educational athletics, I've often used the term champion mindset as I've led various athletic departments. Many instantly correlate that to athletics, which it should, but I'm talking about a champion mindset outside of athletics, not just on the playing field, the court of competition, but in their community, in their school, and beyond that. And that's what our focus will be, is continuing to develop that, help them compete with themselves and having that mindset of controlling the things they can control to have the desired and successful outcome they want to have, not just in sports now, but later on in life. And then also a focus will be is just continuing and always striving to be the benchmark or the standard in the area, in the state when it comes to the athletic department and how we're challenging our student athletes to have that champion mindset, but also setting the bar for everyone else in the area. So again, thank you for welcoming me to the Susky community, and I appreciate joining. And we are almost fully moved into Pennsylvania, just a couple more weeks, and we'll be finishing that process. So thank you again.
Thank you, Mr. Blandon.
All right, moving on to, scroll up, item 5.01, board resolutions in recognition of athletic achievement. Is that you, Dr. Eppert?
Yeah, I'm actually going to turn this over to
Did you just,
Dr. Sterner. Dr.
okay.
Sterner, calling Dr. Sterner.
there we go.
And eventually, Mr. Blandon down the
Oh,
road. Okay.
I sent him away to other assignments.
Oh, he's
But,
back.
oh, there he is, good, perfect. So we have a couple resolutions that came out of last school year, outstanding accomplishments of some of our student athletes and some of the leaders of those teams. So, Mrs. Dauberman, if you'll help me present some of these resolutions. First one is to one of our students, Neve Fanning, and I'll read the resolution that she'll be presented with. Do you want to come up? So the resolution we're presenting to her will say, Southern York County School District Resolution of Commendation, whereas Neve Fanning was selected as a 2024 York Adams Interscholastic Athletic Association Division II Girls Soccer All-Star, and whereas Neve was named All-State by the Pennsylvania Soccer Coaches Association for Fall 2024 season, whereas Neve has participated and lettered in girls soccer for 3 years, it is resolved that the Board of Education, on behalf of the Southern York County School District, adds its recognition, gratitude, and admiration for the way in which Neve Fanning has represented Susquehannock High School. Her dedication, leadership, and success as a student athlete will serve as a role model for others. Given this day in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania on the 17th of September, 2025. Congratulations. They're out there. Oh, I'm sorry.
Get a picture?
Thank you.
Yeah, one.
Thank you so much.
Our other two honorees couldn't be here this evening because they're out there working with our student athletes. So two coaching honors that I will send resolutions to and share with in the future. The first one reads as follows. Whereas Coach Alexander Fancher was selected as a 2024-2025 York Adams Interscholastic Athletic Association Division II Girls Basketball Coach of the Year, it is resolved that the Board of Education, on behalf of the Southern York County School District, adds its recognition, gratitude, and admiration for the way in which Coach Alexander Fancher has represented Susquehannock High School. His dedication, leadership, and success as a coach will serve as a role model for others. Coach Fancher is also Mr. Fancher in the classroom at our middle school, so we appreciate both his leadership of students on the court in girls basketball, as well as his work in the classroom as a social studies teacher in the middle school. Our second coaching honoree then reads as follows. Whereas Coach Brett Maxwell was selected as a 2024 York Adams Interscholastic Athletic Association Division II Boys Soccer Coach of the Year, it is resolved that the Board of Education, on behalf of the Southern York County School District, adds its recognition, gratitude, and admiration for the way in which Coach Brett Maxwell has represented Susquehannock High School. His dedication, leadership, and success as a coach will serve as a role model for others. When he's not on the pitch as Coach Maxwell, he's in our gym working with students as a PE and health teacher at the high school. So appreciation to Brett and to Alex for their leadership of students in the classroom and outside of the classroom, and for these recognition and way that they represented our district.
And there are some soccer players that we're here to support.
Thanks,
Thanks
guys.
for coming, guys.
Thanks, Evie.
All right. Moving on to item 5.02, the Glen Rock American Legion Writers check presentation to increase the scholarship endowment by Ms. Leah Ann Boyd.
See how you got voluntold.
Okay, I got this for you. Okay. So, we welcome back the Glen Rock American Legion Riders. They've been with us several times now to give money to the foundation for our students. So, started several years ago when they contacted us and asked to do a commitment to raise $10,000. They had 10 years to do that, but they are an awesome group, and they did that in several months. So, we were so impressed. Since then, they have brought us several other checks. They're here this evening to give us, I believe, a $1,500 check, which will put their total for scholarships to $14,126. And since they're endowed, their scholarships will be given into perpetuity for our students at Susquehanna.
Everybody up.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
There you go. That's the real one.
You want that one?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. See you tomorrow.
All right, moving on to 5.03, we have the first day of school video.
Picture to end on.
How many times do you have to try with that last picture? How many shots left?
We kept making them do you, Joe.
All right, item 5.04, we have a booster club presentation.
So this presentation is to share some of the different booster groups that help to provide a really special connection between high school programs in athletics and music and parent groups within our community that provide so much support to our students. So presenting on behalf of All Sports Booster is the new president of All Sports Booster, Mrs. Beth Plum. Presenting on behalf of Band Boosters is new co-treasurer, John Malaskis. And finally, our newest booster group is the Orchestra Boosters. And presenting on their behalf is Mrs. Kendra Mabin, their president. So I'll let Beth get started.
Hi, thank you for having us. As Dr. Sterner said, I'm Beth Plum. I'm starting my first term as the All Sports Boosters Club president. Our other executive board members, Jill Kirchhoffner is our vice president, Megan Greist is our new treasurer, and then Laura Heilman is continuing as our secretary. So also, up on the screen is our website. We do have a separate website that just has some additional information about the Booster Club, the calendar with different things that are going on, and other access to resources for our Booster Club reps and things like that. And then our emails are also there as well for any correspondence. As far as what we do, we are a nonprofit and we're authorized to raise funds in the name of Susquehannock High School and its athletic teams. Our mission is to support and aid the athletes, coaches, and parents of the district to enhance all of our athletic programs, activities, and experiences for the participants. Each year, we provide athlete allotments for each athlete participating for items during the season, an additional senior allotment for graduating athlete recognition, financial assistance as needed to support athlete participation, so things like cleats or shoes that maybe are needed for basketball. We've purchased some different shin guard, things like that would be needed for the athletes, and the family is having a challenge in providing that for them. And then we also do scholarships to graduating varsity athletes, and there's a committee. They are anonymously selected. Usually 12 to 15 athletes each year are given a $500 scholarship from the Booster Club. Other events that we have, kind of our major ones, are the Meet the Teams and Athlete Appreciation Night. This year we're doing them as a combined event, which went really well for the fall. It was so fun to see as many athletes participate in that Athlete Appreciation Night, and so we did it after practice and then held the Meet the Teams event where all of the athletes are introduced as they joined their team. So we'll do the same thing in the winter and then in the spring, and we'll coordinate calendars, of course, with everyone to find those dates. We do a seasonal fundraiser. That's how we fund the athlete allotments in particular, and some of the other things that we do. For the fall, it's R&K subs. Winter, right now, it's butter braids, and then spring, we do flower baskets. So there are other things fundraising-wise that we're working on and doing throughout the year that are kind of on a case-by-case or smaller scale, but the seasonal fundraisers are really our significant event to fund those athlete allotments. Our meetings, we meet monthly on a Wednesday evening. It's usually about the third Wednesday, but not always. Those specific dates are on the All Sports Booster Club calendar that can be found on our website, and they are held at 7:30 in the high school cafeteria. I think that's all I have.
Hi, as Dr. Sterner mentioned, my name is John Malaskis. I'm a co-treasurer for the Band Boosters. And again, thank you for the opportunity to share some information with you. Up on the slide, you see our executive board And our email, the best way to ever reach us is warriorbands@gmail.com. As we move on to the next slide, the Band Boosters have 501c3 nonprofit status. The boosters support ensembles such as the marching band, jazz band, the winter indoor color guard, indoor drumline, and the middle school and elementary band programs. The purpose of the Band Boosters is to assist with projects and provide funds to enable the bands to participate in events outside of normal school activities, and also to support the band director and the school administration toward meeting the educational objectives of the Southern York County School District bands. Some examples of what we do: manage uniform maintenance and distribution, assist in purchasing large ticket items. You may have seen the two very large trailers on the side of the school. Build props for the marching band and indoor ensembles. And the day of a performance, there's a lot of things that go on. I know some of you have been around that. While the students are rehearsing and our very talented instructional staff are teaching them, the band parents are preparing, providing, and serving their lunch, and then disassembling the props, loading the props, driving the trailers to the off-campus performance, unloading the trailers, assembling the props, wheeling them onto the field, and then all in reverse as we come back home. It's quite a community event. It really, truly is. And then an example of how we might support other ensembles like the Warrior Cadets, which is an honors elementary band from students from all three elementary schools. We provide them shirts and pizza. Major events coming up. We have band night at the football game on October 3rd, where you'll have the elementary band students, the middle school band students all getting to perform with the big kids in the high school marching band. And there'll be parents with lots of cameras, lots of pictures. And then you can see the dates of the swing dance in February, the handbag bingo, Jazz Fest, and Give Local York. Our meetings are the first Tuesday of each month at 6:30 in the band room. See you there. Thank you.
Good evening, Kendra Mabin, Orchestra Boosters, and we just formed last year, so we're grateful to be here. Thank you. I'm an alumna of the SYCSD Music Department under Mrs. Kathy Yetter, and I'm extremely proud of our district's excellent music program and tradition, Music Builds Community. Our students have gone to some of the nation's top music conservatories, including Curtis, Juilliard, Eastman, and Peabody, and currently, a distinguished alumnus of Susquehannock's music program, Troy Engel, is on tour with Ricky Skaggs and is part of his Kentucky Thunder Band. Our young people are so fortunate to receive an excellent music education in the school district, and while most of our graduates don't go into music professionally, music does benefit them. Musicians develop unique skills of discipline and listening. The SYCSD Orchestra Booster is a dedicated nonprofit. Our mission is to help perpetuate our strong music tradition. Our core group consists of 10 dedicated parents as well as our executive board, and we're always looking for new members. We meet by Zoom on the third Monday of each month at 7:30 p.m. Our purpose, as stated in the bylaws, is to encourage and maintain an enthusiastic interest in the SYCSD Orchestra Booster, to assist with projects which will provide funds to enable the SYCSD Orchestra to participate in activities outside of normal school activities, and to cooperate fully with the orchestra director, Mr. Jones, and the administration of SYCSD in making all projects ones which will be of value to the SYCSD Orchestra. The organization is organized exclusively for charitable and educational purposes and makes distributions that qualify as exempt under 501c3 of the Internal Revenue Code. The SYCSD Orchestra Booster is funded through specific fundraisers which are strictly voluntary, not mandatory, and our fundraising goes to support the orchestras for adjudications, educational field trips, and gratuities for guest artists who help further the education and expand the horizons of our incredible students. Our major events coming up are the PMEA District 7 String Fest on April 11th, We're currently in a fall fundraiser for flowers, and we have a spring fundraiser to be determined. Thank you.
Thank you.
So in closing, our boosters certainly have a financial aspect to them, and that's the natural connection, but it's the people. The word support came up in all of their presentations multiple times. It's the people behind each of these organizations that really propel their mission to support our students in music and athletic programming, and we appreciate them deeply in their partnerships.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank
Stern.
you. Thank you so much.
All right, item 5.05, educational updates by Dr. Reppert.
Thank you, President Henkel. School Board, Kayla mentioned earlier, we got almost a month of school already done in a quick blink of an eye. A lot of great things happening in our schools, but more importantly, as I mentioned, in August, I said I can't wait for the students to fill our halls. It is great to have the students back. Continuing on my theme of safe, supportive, and collaborative culture, under safety, our district continues to pride itself regarding safety procedures. And I want to share a statistic with everyone. As of today, we have 195 staff members in the district that have been certified in CPR and AED training. In a recent training for the administrators, the facilitator actually commented that we have one of the safest school districts in all the tri-state area that he does the training in because of how our district devotes the time for specific training. And over the next couple weeks, all 5 of our schools are offering additional training of CPR AED. So we know that at that point, we're going to have well over 200 staff members that'll be trained in CPR and first aid. Our district did complete an all-district training on situational awareness, and we added a new component of an email phishing campaign. These trainings provided our staff the necessary tools to focus on safety within the school. We'll continue to facilitate these trainings throughout the school year as we onboard new staff members. And a big thanks to Mr. Matt Leitzel, our district's school safety security coordinator, and Mr. Greg Hunt, the coordinator of technology, who facilitated these in-person training sessions. Under supportive, great to get back into the schools and visiting students. Dr. Bryson and I have had the opportunity to get back into the classrooms over the last few weeks. Great to see the students' excitement for learning. Also, a note, support for our teachers. Thank you for everything that they have done, getting into the classroom, seeing the excitement, not only their excitement, but the excitement of the students for learning. So we're really looking forward to those opportunities over the next couple months of seeing the growth of our students, because we know that when our teachers grow, our students are definitely going to grow. Under collaboration, continuing to focus on that growth piece of teachers. The one thing that Dr. Bryson and I have really focused in on this year is collaboration. They've collaborated before, but really focusing on those professional learning communities and what those teachers are doing, not only in their grade level meetings, but more specifically with their departments. So we're really looking forward to seeing our teachers growing professionally, because we know that's going to impact what their children, the students are learning day in and day out. Under reminders, there's a couple that Caleb did forget, or maybe you just chose not to cover because you wanted to leave them for me. Youth night will be a home football game Friday, October 3rd against York Suburban. Parent-teacher conferences will be the evenings of Wednesday, October 8th, and Thursday, October 9th, as well as Friday during the day. On the 10th, schools will be closed on the 10th and the 13th, one for the conferences on the 10th, but then in observance of Columbus Day on the 13th. And I will see everybody back here on Tuesday the 14th at 5:30 for Buildings and Grounds, followed by our October board meeting on October 16th. Last month, Mr. Hash, I do apologize, but happy belated birthday to you. And then happy early birthday to Mrs. Samantha Hall that's coming up between now and the next meeting. So let's have a great start to the fall season, or not. Choice is yours.
You can take that, Caleb? What? You can take that? I guess. Gotta leave up something.
Can you repeat that bit that the CPR trainer said about our school?
That we are the safest school district in all the schools that he has worked with. Dr. Bryson, can you confirm that?
What's the approximate number? Did he give an approximate number?
He said around 3,800 certified CPR trained individuals, and by far our
Yeah,
school.
I mean, we're number one, and then there's that.
Wow.
So just thought I'd call that out. You went past it kind of fast, and I thought, that's worth calling out. That's impressive achievement. All right, moving on to item 6.01, public comment. I want to talk through some of the rules for public comment really quickly. Public comment is an opportunity for district residents, taxpayers, and students to provide comment on matters of concern, official action, or deliberation which are or may be before the board. And then I want to get down to some of the prohibitions. An individual's public comment may be interrupted or terminated only under limited circumstances, such as when the individual's commentary is in clear violation of law or board policy, included but not limited to the following: sexual harassment, racial, ethnic, religious, or nationality intimidation towards an individual or individuals in the school community, disclosure of confidential personal information regarding students or staff, speech that traditionally has not been protected under the First Amendment, such as obscenity, defamation, and speech integral to criminal conduct, speech that is profane, speech that constitutes true threats, such as inciting imminent lawless action or subjecting individuals to fear of violence, speech that does not concern matters that may come before the board for deliberation or official action, for example, sales of commercial products or services, so no selling your wares. All right, I would like to say also, just as a general rule, I like to avoid naming any staff member or administrator or a student within the district, because it really helps us to avoid any of those things. So please keep yourself to kind of generalities when it comes to those matters. All right. I don't think I see Chris Ruggieri. No, okay. Crystal Pinto? No. Ashley Haven?
Hello, I'm Ashley Heyman. I have 2 kids here in the school district, and I just wanted to come to you today about some recent events, obviously in our world and here at the school. So for starters, revenge is a dish best served cold. And just to be clear, not all people who kill others are mentally ill. These are statements on social media from 2 teachers in this district. I won't name names like you asked. We've had a lot going on this year. We've had the stabbing of Irina Zaritska, the assassination of Charlie Kirk, 146 school shootings just this year. And practically in our very own backyard, we had the UPMC hospital incident, and today we're dealing with police officers who were shot in Spring Grove. There is not a single person in this room, let alone in this world, who should be celebrating any of that. No people involved in any of these incidents deserved it. I don't care what you say. I don't care politically, religiously, where you stand with any of it. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm not good at talking in front of people. So every day we send our kids here. You guys shouldn't have to worry about your lives being at risk. Our kids shouldn't have to worry about it. Our police officers shouldn't have to worry about it. Nobody should. It's just not right. And anyone who can even think about taking the life of someone is mentally ill. I don't care what you say. You don't just wake up one day and say, I think this is a really good idea to do this today. So anyone who can post that on social media is a little, I don't know how to put it. So I'm standing in a room with people, or at least I should be standing in a room with people who want our children's best interest and our safety first. That is what matters. Firsthand, with my own children in this school, I've dealt with bullying that's never been addressed. I had a child in 6th grade text my child, who, just for story purposes, my child is like a size 0. She's a very petite person. The text messages she was getting from this student were along the lines of, "You're a fat effing pig." And I had a meeting with the middle school assistant principal and 2 counselors. The counselor said, well, girls will be girls. They will indeed be girls until it leads to an eating disorder and so on. Flash forward to 11th grade. Yes, you heard that right. It started in 6th grade. We are now in 11th grade. We still deal with the same bully. At the end of 10th grade, it resulted in a fist fight. A safety plan was put in place. I was assured that student would not be around my child. Well, just last week, that child was moved into classes with my child, so much for the safety plan. Both my high schoolers and some of my neighbors have told me people have been mocking the death of Charlie Kirk and nothing has been done about it. And how I feel about the comments from your staff on Facebook. This has gone viral, first off. It's not a good look. It's not a good look at all. I don't think that these people should be in front of our kids. And if you don't think that these people should be in front of our kids, there's something wrong, and the problem needs addressed. So, as far as I'm concerned, Charlie Kirk himself said you can tell a lot about a person by how they react when someone dies. Whether there's a teacher shortage or not, we really need to be focusing on who is leading these classrooms. I don't know what you have to do to fix that problem, but we have to get to the root of the problem. We have to teach these kids from home. Yes, I get it. It starts in the home, but it also is in school. You teach these kids, K through 12. We're going to send them out into the world to lead the world one day. And this is not how they need to be going into it. So I think it's time everybody comes together, figures out a path, how to make it better. Because it's not better. It's actually really scary for people. And that's all I have to say. God bless you all.
Brad Renahan.
Good evening, Brad Renahan, Shrewsbury Township. President Hankel, thank you for your statement earlier. I agree totally 100%. President Hankel, members of the board, I am Charlie Kirk. And I see some of you are as well. I want to talk about the social media posts of an art teacher and a counselor. I want to thank them actually for posting. Posting them for showing who they really are and what they really feel about people who like Charlie Kirk. That would be at least 2/3 of this district, including me. When we put our kids on the bus, we want to trust that they are coming to a supportive and welcoming environment. That trust now has been violated. I strongly encourage any parents who have a counselor as their kid's high school counselor to call the school and switch. I also strongly encourage any Shrewsbury Elementary parents who object to these posts to demand a different art teacher, or even work out a plan with the staff to do something else besides art. It's clear that they think somebody like me and you, and the fact that those two individuals are still near our kids is very disturbing. Those two are being protected by the union. The union is standing by them and not our kids, and that's not right. If my child wasn't in cyber school, she would have been assigned to that counselor right now, and I would have had a lot different conversation with the principal last Friday than what I had. And I do appreciate the call back. That was very timely. I am very concerned about the art teacher. Instead of showing contrition, it looks like he has doubled down on defiance. He has called on shutting down and reporting the person who reported on him. That's like having student A who's being bullied by student B, and the reports gets reported by the teacher by student C, having student A coming back and having the rest of the classmates not talk and shun student C. Is that what the school stands for? I see literature being handed out that we should trust all educational professionals. Really? Does that also include a former Susquehannock teacher in the high school? The students who attend Southern York County schools should be exposed to they shouldn't be exposed to any indoctrination, left or right. A trust has been violated. The bell has been rung. You can't put the genie back in the bottle. These leftist professional educators hate people with common sense and Christian values. It was less than, 36 hours when they posted this stuff, for a day? My wife and I seriously were thinking about bringing our daughter back into the buildings here to the high school, but after seeing this, that day has passed, and that's sad. People are losing their jobs in the private sector over similar sentiments shared online. It's a shame that that can't actually happen here, or we'll see what the process is. This is our next generation exposed to this garbage. Something needs to happen. Maybe those two individuals can do the right thing and resign. Southern York County, we deserve better, and so do our kids. Thank you.
April Kashtanat, do I have that right?
Yes.
I'm going to start by, I am not a public speaker and I do not want to be here. I will do my best to get through this. I'm also a very emotional person. Please know that this is not something I want to be here doing. However, I do feel like I need to voice my opinion for myself and my children. I am not okay with the fact that a teacher at one of my children's, actually both of my children's schools, but we're going with this one, shared a video titled "Revenge is a Dish Best Served Cold," in which it basically stated a person deserved to be shot and killed for his beliefs and his feelings on gun rights. This should not be acceptable of anyone. How can you tell me that this person doesn't deserve to lose his job for his actions, but another man deserved to lose his life for his beliefs? While I understand that this video was shared on his personal social media page, it was made public for all to see. And this is exactly what happened. His choice to share that video has now put our entire district once again in the public's eyes. It's put my child's elementary school address all over this country, where both political parties, both, have extremists that are okay to justify awful things, to feel like they prove a point and feel heard. This world is unpredictable, and no one can sit here and tell me our children are safe. If you can, then I'm not naive enough to believe it. On another note, I don't believe that this teacher is able to separate his personal feelings from his classroom. Why? Because I still freshly remember my child coming home from school several years ago, not understanding how anyone could hate Christmas. He was told this by this very teacher that's in question, that he hated Christmas and doesn't believe in that kind of stuff. I can even remember exactly how I responded to my child. I said, it's okay for him to feel that way. Not everyone likes holidays. Maybe instead of feeling upset, you should feel sad for him and all he's missing out on by feeling like that. It also brought to my attention that the same teacher, just this year, wrote, "I hate Chick-fil-A" on his Warm and Fuzzies paper. May seem harmless and silly, maybe it even is. However, we can't take anything for granted when it comes to our children's safety. I still, on occasion, remind my other children not to use the word hate and say don't like something instead. I never mentioned this comments to the school because I could look past it. However, now I feel it's very important to bring this up because it paints a much clearer picture. I want to end with this. We all can do better, and we need to do better. The political hate from both sides is out of control. Just because we feel strongly about our political views doesn't mean we should ever lose our ability to see what's right from wrong. We surely should never feel that murder is fitting for voicing your beliefs. If this teacher keeps his job, I can assure you my children will not be in his class or maybe not even in the same school, especially since I know this person's views on revenge. I'm really sad that this is the world we're living in. When I had to take my daughter's lunch to school the other day, I sat and I cried in the parking lot of the school. Want to know why I cried? Because there was a police officer parked in front of it, and I was happy for that. I felt safer knowing that that officer was parked out in front of that school. I shouldn't have to feel like that. And I'm not just talking about this. We need to do better. We have to. Thank you.
Scott Pressler. Sir, so as I mentioned earlier, public comment is an opportunity for district residents, taxpayers, and students to provide comment on matters of concern, as it's our precedent that those are the three categories that are allowed to speak.
Sir, would you, may I present to you, I am a leasee of Shrewsbury in York County, Pennsylvania. If you would like to see my lease agreement.
Well, go ahead and pass it around. I want to give that to Jeff. So this is to establish residency?
Yes.
Not dated, sir. Do you live in the district at the present time?
I am a leasee as of today.
So you're representing to the board that you live in the district as of today?
I am a leasee as of today.
That's not what I asked you. I asked you, do you reside in the district as of today? Because if you do, we'll let you speak.
I am residing in the district as of today.
All right.
Yes.
We'll verify this, but at this point, we'll permit you to speak, but we will verify that. Thank you.
Good evening, board. My name is Scott Pressler. I am a former employee for Alexandria City Public Schools. In Northern Virginia, we had 800 students, meaning we had 1,600 kids. I was in the main office, loved every single person that came into the doors of our school at that elementary school. We had 70% Hispanic population, 10% white, 10% Arabic, 10% black. In my spare time, I learned Spanish to be able to talk to our children and our students. And even when we had refugees coming into our school from Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan, I studied Arabic in my free time to be able to make them feel at home, to make them feel welcome. I knew Charlie Kirk. He was a friend of mine. I'm here today to be an advocate for parents, for students, and for Charlie. Charlie didn't deserve what happened to him. He didn't deserve to lose his life over domestic terrorism, over political violence. I didn't even go searching for this information from these teachers within this school district, within Shrewsbury Elementary, and within this high school, Susquehannock. A parent, a concerned parent, gave it to me and said, Scott, I'm a father. I got children. I wouldn't have my children at a school where faculty members, I'm not going to name them, they're already out there, but I will quote the video that's already been presented and shared verbatim of what that person shared publicly on that person's social media. You know, sometimes revenge is a dish best served cold. I hate to celebrate someone's death, but when you talk about guns rights and we talk about how much the Second Amendment matters to you and it impacts you, what do you expect? So that person is celebrating, is recognizing that it is revenge and that dish is best served cold. how heartless, how callous, how I can't believe it's even under discussion that this person would be not terminated immediately upon hearing this. And furthermore, you have another person, I'm not going to name them, I'm going to be respectful, posting publicly on social media, again, handed to me, given to me, not searching for it. Just to be clear, not all people who kill others are mentally ill. How does that reflect upon this school district? And more importantly, as an advocate for parents and for students, how does that reflect on them? How could any student go to this school knowing publicly what these faculty members have said and have confidence that they could confide in those faculty members, that they could actually tell them the truth? You're supposed to be able to trust your employees, your faculty. You think of them as more of a teacher. They're a mentor. That trust has been forever broken. And I think the reputation of this school district and those two schools and those faculty will forever be tarnished, the reputation, if they are kept in those positions. I recognize that it is not up to the board here today, but it is up to the superintendent. And so I am asking for Dr. Robert Bryson to terminate those two employees, as you've heard from us today. I also want to make it clear that I'm using my voice to be peaceful. I lost my friend. I'll be attending his funeral. I'm leaving the state to go to Arizona to celebrate his life. Going out of my way to Arizona to attend a funeral I never thought I'd have to. And I'm not going to do anything but be peaceful. And now the City of York, the Human Rights Commission, when I exposed publicly accessible information of people celebrating or justifying this assassination, this domestic terrorism, now they're saying that I am violent. I am so irate. But you know, to everyone that's watching at home right now, and trust that thousands of people are watching right now, parents, students, you have the power. I ask you to raise your voices, and I ask you to register to vote, and you make your voices heard. And we're going to elect good people into office, and very peacefully and professionally, we are going to hold people accountable that do not do the right thing, and make sure that the parents, the students, and that Charlie Kirk, they have their justice. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. We have item 6.02, board discussion of public comment. Does anyone have any additional comments to make? Any responses?
I mean, what can you say? We're not allowed to discuss personnel issues, but I can talk about Charlie Kirk. Our family adored him. These last 7 days, are we really there? Were horrific. And, you know, I vacillate back and forth between sadness and anger. Confusion is a good one too. I'm there with confusion. And struggling with why, how, constantly watching Charlie Kirk videos. That's what I've been doing. And I would just ask our students that are listening or that are here today, watch his videos, honor him, hear what he had to say, and it's okay to be confused because I am too. And the thing that I just can't wrap my mind around right now, it's the thought that I keep thinking about is with all the conversations nationally, I'm discussing nationally, about sitting down and having a conversation, the guy who did that was murdered. I'm confused. Our students are confused. I adored that man.
One thing I do want to just say is we're a school district. We're an educational place. Schools have never and will never be free of any sort of culture war that's going on in our society. Our educators teach our students who the heroes and the villains are from from history. And they also, because they spend so much time with them during the day, they impart morals and values that they carry. Again, as Director Henkel said, we don't discuss personnel matters. And I am hearing from several parents that they are looking at pulling their students from our district, which frankly is pretty scary because we made some decisions this year as far as declining enrollment. 15% of our potential students have chosen homeschooling or charter school instead of being in our buildings. And that says something about the school district that we have right now. So that's all I have to say.
So, as it's been reiterated, we are not at liberty to speak about personnel matters, so I will not. But I would like to say that a school is governed by policy. Policy is very important. And we are in a policy cycle right now. We have policies we're currently working on, policies that we will be working on in the future. And I would encourage our community to pay better attention to those things. Come out to those meetings. Give your voice into those meetings, because those policies govern these types of situations. They're very, very important, and I know that as a board member, I would love to have more input from the community into those policy meetings and the direction that those policies are taking our school.
Those aren't the popular meetings, are they? And
They're not popular meetings,
it would be
but
wonderful
they're
to have
very
more.
important meetings.
Anyone else?
And if I also could say, one thing that this board changed very early on was the transparency of our policy process. Prior to this board, policies were essentially disclosed, voted on, and they moved forward. We have opened that process up to the highest level of transparency that we can. We have had in the past, in some policies, good input from the community and made changes accordingly. So this board is very interested in those policies reflecting the law, but also reflecting the community. And I would encourage that and desire to have that input from our community so that our district can represent who we are. We are our community, and we want to represent our community. And the more input we have from our community, the better we're able to represent you. Thank you.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
Due to what you said about the security, I'm glad that you saw, a result of security. We took a stance on security here, and we worked with administration, and again, those meetings they don't make the front page news either, but I'm glad that you got to see the results of that, so that's really good to hear.
I want to just refer back to my statements. I ended it with, we must recognize that pain, confusion, and fear, and give attention not only to supporting those students as well as we can right now, but also learning to get better at supporting them. Those are not empty words. I'm already discussing, I'm not ready to talk about the exact form, but I'm already in conversations with Dr. Bryson and others about how we can do that. And specific to the kind of confusion and pain that arise from this situation. Anyone else?
Just thank everybody for coming out tonight. Really appreciate it.
It's different faces this time, and
Yeah.
we recognize that.
I like seeing that. Our board meetings have been a little empty. I wish they were a little fuller under better circumstances, so definitely come out again. I'd love to see any of you, all of you, come out to board meetings again. You can watch them from home too, but, you know, it's nice for us to see people out here and know that people are engaged.
And we are listening. We are.
All right. Moving on to item 7, the consent agenda. I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Any nays or abstentions? Hearing none, that motion carries. Which brings us to item 8, our committee report on education. I will turn it over to our education chair, Mrs. Henkel.
All right, 8.01, that is quick data for high reliability schools. Dr. Ruppert, could you please take care of that one?
Yeah, thank you, Mrs. Henkel. For the board directors this year, you'll receive updates regarding level 2, the high reliability schools, effective instruction in every classroom. So every other month, you'll receive an update. The reason why it's every other, there's less components that are specifically in level 2. So this month, you have 2.1. Then in November, it'll be 2.2 and so on and so forth throughout. So you do have a board briefing that we also provided at your table just to see the highlights of 2.1 for the district.
Thank you, Dr. Ruppert. 8.02 is speakers approved through the vetting process. This is information only, and there are 8 that are on this list. 8.03, this is the proposal for Menchie Music Service for the purchases of musical equipment for the Susquehannock High School Band. I'm going to go ahead and move to approve the proposal as stated. That's going to be for the Susquehannock High School Band at the cost of $24,344.40 as budgeted under the CoStar's contract. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Does anybody have any items of discussion under this? Any questions? Do I have any nays or abstentions? That motion carries. Brings us to 8.01, which is curriculum maps. This is, well, let me go ahead and just move to approve the following Stage 1 curriculum maps as district-wide master maps. It's social studies for grade 3. May I have a second, please?
Second.
All right, you've got content there to look at that. Does anybody have any questions or points of discussion on that one? No? All right, any nays or abstentions? That motion carries. That brings us to 8.05, which is a renewal agreement with Liminex, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that, Incorporated, for a 1-year license to Pear Deck. Dr. Ruppert, can you take this one for me?
Yes, thank you, Mrs. Henkel. For the board directors and community, Pear Deck is a program that will be utilized at our high school for the students. How it works, it provides interactive questions that the students, that the teachers can embed multiple choice type questions, short response to engage our students in learning. The one thing our teachers utilize, and I was able to observe this over the last 2 weeks going to our high school, is entrance tickets, activating questions as soon as students are coming in. But then at the end of the class, you can have an exit ticket. So it's a quick way for our teachers to assess how our students are doing. An example that's currently being used with the World Language Department at the high school. Students can utilize it to draw pictures, respond, reflect on vocabulary. The one thing that Dr. Sterner and I saw going into several classes this past week is that vocabulary. We may have learned it. You get the vocabulary word, you get the definition. You learn how to spell it, you memorize that definition. By utilizing this program, students could draw pictures or something relevant that they can remember and identify, that vocabulary word a lot quicker. So it is a program that would be a renewal, but it'll be utilized for the high school this upcoming school year.
Excellent, thank you. I move to approve that renewal agreement with Liminex Incorporated for a 1-year license to Pear Deck, which is a software that is used by our high school at a cost of $4,333.68. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Any items of discussion for this one? Does anybody have any questions for Dr. Ruppert? Because I'm not answering them.
Dr. Ruppert, how do you pronounce that?
Liminex.
Liminex?
Liminex?
Dr. Hughes?
Okay, I think somewhere, we got it.
There we go, that's how he's pronounced it.
Alrighty, any nays or abstentions? That motion carries. 8.06, this is a quote from Brighton Learning for the use of what they call Social Express as a research-based social skills program. Dr. Reppert, can you handle that one for me?
Yes, I can. Thank you, Mrs. Henkel. Social Express, if you go back to the board last spring, we approved a program called Emergency, which was a program that focused on students' IEP goals, in special education. When you look at Social Express, there's two components that our students are now going to be, our teachers are going to be able to utilize in teaching those specific social skills. Not only for our emotional support, life skills students, but even our learning support students. There's another component, which is the teen career path. We know that part of our requirement for the Chapter 3 through 9 plan is identify students have to complete artifacts for graduation, each year based on career and transition goals. This also has that component that will allow our students to complete that requirement and focus on authentic and relevant jobs that may be most applicable for them.
Thank you so much, Dr. Reppert. I move to approve a quote from Brighton Learning for the use of Social Express as research-based social skills learning program and Teen Career Path Career Readiness Program at the cost of $1,999, couldn't make it an even number, for 5 teachers.
This is $1.
Right, and up to 100 students. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Does anybody have anything to share on this? All right, I want to go ahead because I certainly do not sway away from controversy. SEL means different things to different people, and I know that individual board directors definitely have their opinions about SEL. I do as well, that's social emotional learning. And I shared with Dr. Hughes earlier before this meeting, it scared me, I will say, it did. I investigated. I listened to the featured videos that you could do. I adore this program. I absolutely adore it. As Dr. Reppert said, it's for both the teen stuff, but then it's also life skills. And so just to give board directors a little bit more of an understanding on this, it's 4 different parts. The first one is pre-K to kindergarten, and they do call that level 1, but then they also have a level 1 after that. And so then it's level 1, level 2, and level 3. And so the pre-K to kindergarten, that's just basic hygiene, like washing your hands, and then recognizing facial cues and understanding what a person might be feeling as they're saying a thing, who's angry, who's sad. And then that gets developed into harder lessons for skill level 1 all the way through skill level 3. But this is what I was super excited about. So skill level 3 deals predominantly with conversations. And so for somebody who is in the life skills program, it's not just a video, like, let me break it down for you. The first video that you could see, and they call them webisodes. So the first video that I got to watch was, learning about flexibility. And it had an interaction between 2 girls, and they were walking a puppy dog. And it was very clear that they were on their way to a music store in order to buy drumsticks. And then all of a sudden the dog started getting off onto the main street and was going in front of a pet store, and the dog wanted to have treats. The one person in the video that was not able to adapt to the new situation, we were going to the music store and now the dog wants treats, was having a hard time understanding that sometimes you have to be flexible in life. But this is what was so cool. It asks the kid to pick what the right response might be for that child finding themselves in that kind of scenario. And then it shows the results of what interaction they choose. So be inflexible, say, no, we were going to the music store, I'm not going to hear anything about, getting the dog a treat. And then it shows what the result of that is. And so she basically storms off and says, to the equivalent of, I'm not going to be your friend anymore because you're inflexible. And then it shows all the other choices that she could make and the follow-up video with that too, which I just thought was absolutely spectacular. And that's just one lesson, so that you're not only getting what the correct answer would be, you actually see the results of what the wrong answer would be too. I adored this. So anyway, I just wanted you guys to know, if you were scared about it, I was too. I love it. So does anybody have any questions?
Not a question, but a comment. Thank you for your work in that.
Yeah,
It is
no problem.
definitely good to hear its direction and content. I appreciate
I
that.
clicked the right one, right? All righty.
Not every time, Jen, come on.
Come on. Any nays or abstentions to this one? That motion carries. 8.07, other items of business. I've got nothing. Back to you, President Hinkle.
Yeah, I'll just say, Mr. Hall, in response to your comment, I definitely hear about how much she has to do for her committee, but you see, it's a choice. It's a choice, but, yeah.
I just like watching
But,
videos.
yeah,
man.
no, it's, I think it's a good choice.
Thank you, Mrs. Henkel.
Absolutely.
All right, moving on to item 9, finance and budget. I'll turn it over to our treasurer, Mr. Wilson.
Thank you, President Henkel. 9.01, we've got our financial reports, another month worth of these. Treasurer's report, tax collection report, budget status, cafeteria report. I do want to point out that our Happy or Not, which is those kiosks in our, outside of our cafeterias, are showing a marked uptick from last year. So kudos to the cafeteria staff. They seem like they're doing a great job.
It's an uptick in responses or in
Positive responses.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I do want to do my monthly, go down the numbers real quick. On the general fund concentration account, we started the month with $3,769,801.82. And we finished out the month of August with $10,640,555.68. For the investment accounts, we started the month with $27,199,562.49, and we finished the month of August with $25,672,336.59. The rest of it you can browse at your leisure. I'm going to make a motion to approve the bills for payment as presented here. May I have a second?
Second.
Any questions or discussion on the bills? Okay, any nays or abstentions? Hearing none, motion passes. Sue, we can pay the bills. 9.03, exonerations and refunds. I'm going to make a motion to approve the exonerations and refunds as presented. May I have a second?
Second.
Okay, Sue, is there any flavor you want to add to these? I mean,
The only thing, most of the exonerations have to do with veterans exemptions, so you'll see a lot of, quite a few on there, about $38,000 worth for veterans exemptions.
okay. Any questions on this? Any nays or abstentions? Hearing none, motion passes. 9.04, this is going to be fun. I'm going to hand this over to Sue to get the 2025-2026 state budget and district budget information. Take it away, Sue.
Well, there's not a whole lot to say. We still don't have a budget, unfortunately. There have been quite a few comments in the news that they're getting close, but we really see nothing yet. So similar to last month for us, the big impact is it's very difficult to make decisions when we don't have a budget for this year. The other thing is, to put it in perspective, we are beginning budget development for 26-27, so we're starting in early October to meet with all of our administrative team. And as you know, we'll bring our first draft of our budget to the November meeting, so it does make it very difficult when we don't have any idea. The other thing, I know many of our board members haven't been around for a long time. So what also happens is if there is any specialty funding, then we will run really fast to try to figure out how to use that funding. So for instance, safety funding, adequacy funding, charter school funding. Of course, we still hope we get all of those, but as I've said many times in budget presentations, you know, the state asks what we'd like to see. We would like to see timeliness. That's probably the biggest issue that we face, is not having timely budgets.
So right to Harrisburg, we need a budget.
What's the latest it's ever gone in your?
The worst I've ever experienced, I forget the year, I think it might have been 12, 13, I think was March.
Wow.
Yeah, it just shaking his head, yeah, it was very, very ugly. It was not good.
Yeah.
So we are hoping we don't get anything like that. Again, the issue is, it is very hard to make decisions when you don't have an understanding of what this year's finances are, let alone what we're going to see for next year. So I know sometimes board directors say to me, what would you like to see, Sue? I would like to see timeliness, because that is the worst part of it. We can pivot and we can work things out if we know what it is, but it's very difficult when you have no idea. And as if you're watching it in the news, I mean, it's anywhere from we're going to get a lot to we're not going to get anything. So at this point, we don't have any idea what it even looks like. So I'd like to see that come out. So hopefully we'll see something very shortly, and then we can move forward on that.
All right, thank you, Sue. 9.05, this is for your information. It is a letter from the auditor as far as our district's audit. So that is for your information. 9.06, we've got other items of business. I have none. I'm going to pass it back to you, President Hinkle.
All right. Next, we have our Personnel and Policy Report, and I'll turn it over to our Personnel and Policy Chair, Mrs. Samantha Hall.
Thank you, President Hinkle. Item 10.01, we did that already in the beginning of the meeting. So item 10.02, this is the selection of the statewide PSBA officers. I make a motion to approve the selection of statewide PSBA officers for the position of President-elect, Vice President, Central Zone Representative, Section C-3 Advisor, and PSB Insurance Trustees. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Any nays or abstentions? Okay, hearing none, that motion passes. Item 10.03, first reading of board policies. This is public information, but I do just want to say, as a summary, as per our board policy process at the August school board meeting, these policies were distributed. They were then presented and discussed at the September 15th Personnel and Policy Committee meeting. Tonight constitutes the first reading of these policies. They will be published for public review probably next week, Sue, I think-ish.
Yes, by Monday.
Okay, by Monday. And then we will move to a second read in October with a board vote. Upon passage of the vote, the policies are final approved and effective. And I just encourage anybody watching, we talked about how important policies are for the governance of our district. That we had 16 policies that were up for review. We have had discussion at the Personnel and Policy Committee meeting on September 15th. That video is available, and I would direct you to that. Item 10.04 is adjudication for student A. The Board of Education to consider approval of adjudication for student A. The board hereby permanently expels the student from the Southern York County School District effective immediately, provided, however, that the student may apply for readmission to the school district for the 2026-2027 school year, provided that the student agrees to, complies with, and has met and meets the following conditions. Number one, while expelled, the student must participate in the Alternative Education for Disruptive Youth program chosen for the student by the school district. While attending this program, the student must maintain regular attendance and have no disciplinary referrals while enrolled in the program. Item number two, the student may seek an alternative education outside the district at the parent's expense. Condition number three, while enrolled in the AEDY program, the student must participate in any and all counseling programs requested by the school district and/or the AEDY program, including but not limited to drug and alcohol counseling, the student assistance program, and mental health counseling. The student must follow all recommendations as part of that process. Condition number four, prior to applying for readmission to the school district, the student must successfully comply with 2 random drug tests at the parent guardian's expense. Drug test dates will be selected by the school district and must be completed within 24 hours of notification. Parents, guardians must present results of the drug tests to the school district within 48 hours of the initial notification. Condition number 5, failure of the student to complete a test within 24 hours, or if any test result indicating the presence of an illegal and/or non-prescribed drug will result in a delay of readmission eligibility and additional drug tests. Continued infractions will result in additional delays of readmission eligibility. Condition number 6, while expelled, the student is prohibited from entering upon any school district property and attending any school activities unless authorized by a school administrator. And condition number 7, the student must maintain an attendance rate of at least 95%. I make a motion to approve adjudication for student A. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion or questions? Any nays or abstentions? Hearing none, this motion carries. And item 10.05, generative AI tools. I make a motion to approve the following. Staff and students shall not use generative AI tools or resources to create any likeness of any student, staff member, or district official without their permission. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
I'd just like to reiterate, especially for our new guests, that this was a part of a discussion that we did on Monday for our policy meeting. There was talk about adding this to our AI policy, and Sue had the amazing decision to go ahead and just add this separate from it. Are we planning on putting this in the AI policy as well? All right, so it's a standalone, but our intentions are to add it to the policy too.
Yeah, my reasoning in that meeting, if you go back and watch it, was when it comes to a lot of the AI policy, when it comes to everything, we're trying to catch up with the state of technology. And so that's one of those policies that we have to give a lot of thought to, how we implement it. But there are certain prohibitions that we want in place immediately because there's no good reason not to have them. And so this was a solution to get this prohibition into place because we're just trying to think, how is this going to be misused? And one is, there are certain misuses that are already prohibited in that policy, but I don't want someone creating a deep fake of Dr. Sterner telling everyone that school is out for the day at 1 p.m. As much as popular as that student would be.
Yeah, and to reiterate what Director Hall and Director Hall had said, specifically the generative AI policy that will be up for first read again in October, correct? That is one of the ones that, I personally ask your help on. Once that's available to the public, please come over it, give us suggestions. You can text, email me. I would love to hear them. As it is evolving, we are trying to adapt. And again, that was one of the changes that we made. Previous board, they would pass it and then you could read it. We go ahead and get all of our ideas together collectively for the first read, then we release it to you guys so that you can come to meetings and tell us or email us about what changes you would like to make, and then we can go ahead and put those into the second read. So please, we very much could use the eyes.
Yeah, I strongly recommend, you're certainly welcome to come to the meeting to make public comment. I recommend any policy changes that you're suggesting, watch for the policy to come out, usually within a few days of this meeting. So this meeting's first read. Wait a few days, it'll be on the website. If you can't find it, email Sue Green, she can tell you where it is. It's Susan Green is the email, yeah, Susan Green. Take a look at it and email us as quickly as possible because policy creation is a complicated process. And so the more time we have to see the suggestions, the more time our administrators have to work through it and get those changes in. So.
Right. And I do want to point out that the generative AI policy will be first read next month. Just because we made so many changes to it on Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not going to be on the site until next month, until October's meeting.
Although, is there a draft of it now? Is the draft without the?
The original approved policies in board
Oh,
docs.
the original. So that's still going to be useful. So if you're really interested in AI, what you could do is you could look at the approved policy and then go and watch Monday's meeting, and you'll have a sense of the changes that are likely to show up. You won't have exact wording because it's hard to come up with that just like, talking to each other. But you'll have a sense of the kinds of changes. And if you want to weigh in, please send the district email, and you can copy. Actually, this is one of those, sometimes we say go to the administration about that. Come straight to the board with its policy, and, they'll see it too, but come straight to the board about policy, because that's our jam.
Okay, thank you. And item 10.06, other items of business.
Did we do a?
No.
We didn't do a.
Oh, did I not finish it?
Oh, yeah.
We got
Sorry.
to do
Motion is
our.
second, we need.
Yep.
So we had discussion. So any nays or abstentions? Okay, that motion carries. Item 10.06, other items of business. All right, thank you. I turn that over to President Henkel.
All right. Next, we have 11, our committee report on buildings and grounds, and I'll turn it over to Mr. Hall.
Thank you, President Henkel. 11.01, Buildings and Grounds Report for August 2025. Mr. Buffington.
The report there is for your information. Just kind of point out some information on track sound system. Also a demonstration, interesting, on a auto scrubber, automatic auto scrubber. So interesting demonstration that we had on that. But also mention that we will have a vacancy in the maintenance department, so we are certainly looking for applicants.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to 11.02, we have our water test report for August of 2025. That is there for our information. Moving on to 11.03, we have the high school project financial report.
Not a lot of change there. We are, kind of a broken record each. We are getting closer. We do anticipate closeout of some of the contracts, in particular the general contractor. I believe we will pay their final bill through the end of September, but we'll pay it next month. So, we are trying to close all those contracts out, hopefully over the next few months. But in the financials, similar to what we have seen, with the remaining budget, and we can go to the next slide. You can see the contingency changes were change orders, which I'll talk about here in a moment. But don't expect, we're not expecting a lot of change here as we close out the project. Obviously, paying the contractors, and one of the encumbrances, the construction testing and inspection. We're not anticipating spending all that, so that'll be a positive for us as well.
Okay, thank you. As you referenced, 11.04, we have change orders. If you would like to
Yeah,
speak to them.
certainly the two change orders we have there, they were verified on site by the construction manager, both on a time and material basis. Those change orders were were constructed almost a year ago, so the timely submission of those, certainly, they're not timely. However, they are legitimate change orders, and the contractor has the right to submit those as we are getting ready to close out. So I did approve after review with the construction manager and seeing the documentation, I did approve those.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to 11.05, we have a motion to approve awarding the request for qualifications for a energy service company 2, Site Logic, and to authorize the administration to advertise as necessary per the Guaranteed Energy Savings Act. Do I have a second?
Second.
So we had a meeting earlier in the month where we interviewed 2 different companies to move forward in the bidding process for our greatest needs, which we had already put forward as what those greatest needs were going to be. This is the continuation of that and the beginning of going into the bidding process. The process is a little different because it's underneath of the Guaranteed Energy Savings Act, which has a lot of pluses like no change orders, but then also it gives them the ability to have input from contractors into the design phase of it, and being that, you know, most of this is really very energy centered. It gives us a lot more flexibility on what that ultimately ends up looking like. Obviously, that is put together and then brought back to the board. It's not that we will have oversight over it as it when they've completed the bid work, but this is just I believe it's the first time the school's using this.
Yes.
I think this is a great opportunity for us because it is a very energy conscious project that we're working on with these greatest needs. So is there any questions?
Thank you for that explanation. No, thank you for all of your time and really thinking about these things and bringing it to the board with intellect and understanding, and it's a great job. Thank you.
Yeah, so not flashy, wonderful things that are going to get people's attention, but it is nice when the heat works.
Yes.
And
You'd be surprised how excited I get about energy efficiency.
and it's really nice when it rains and the rain stays on the outside of the building. So
Yes.
not flashy things, but certainly things that we need to take care of here in our schools. So, okay, any nays or abstentions?
No.
Hearing none, motion passes. Moving on to 11.06, use of facilities. This is here for our information. Moving on to 11.07, other items of business, which I have none. Back to you, President Henkel.
All right, next we'll have our,
Thank you, Randy.
next we'll have our committee report on transportation, health, and safety, and I will turn it over to Mr. Hash.
Thank you, President Hinkle. 12.01, Student Transportation Report for August 2025. We kicked off the school year. At the last board meeting, we had 6 open routes. 4 of them have been filled. We're still looking for 2 candidates. So if you know of anybody, send them to First Student. We also had bus evacuations. I was here for that. The team did great, in my opinion anyway, my very uneducated opinion. Then I went to Friendship and watched theirs. I hadn't watched theirs yet, and that was fantastic in my opinion as well. So well done for the team on that. So the rest of the report is there for your review. 12.02. This is just for information. York County Department of Emergency Services reviewed our 2025-2026 Emergency Operations Plan for Southern York County School District and found all aspects of the plan were in order, and based on the all hazards approach, the plan is in compliance with local and county emergency preparedness plans. 12.03, I would like to make a motion to award the AED service plan to CPR Baltimore of Hanover for the 2025-2026 school year at the cost of $6,064.
Second.
Thank you. Any comments on that? Nays or abstentions? This is just going back to reference to what Dr. Reppert said, that with the safety and security that we have, and the guy, this is the fellow that said we have one of the most secure districts that he's ever worked with. And we're going to award the AED service plan. So that motion passes. Thank you. 12.04, I have no other items of business. Back to you, President Hinkle.
Thank you. Now we'll turn it over to Mrs. Doberman for our athletics and extracurricular report.
Thank you.
Item number 1301, athletic report. We have one this month. The Warriors are off to a great start for the 2025 fall sports season. Here are the current highlights. Girls tennis. Girls tennis is currently sitting at first place in the YAI Division II with a league record of 4-0 and overall record of 7-2. They are currently ranked 11th in PIAA District 3. For Warrior Girl Field Hockey, it is currently undefeated and sitting in first place at the YAI Division II with a league record of 5-0 and 10-0 overall. They are currently ranked 5th in the PIAA District 3. Warrior Cross Country. The boys and girls cross country teams are off to a strong start to their seasons. The Warrior boys teams is currently sitting in first place in their division, while the Warrior girls team is in second place in their division. Warrior volleyball, girls volleyball, is currently second place in YAI Division II with a league record of 4-1 and overall record of 5-1. They are also ranked 8th in PIAA District 3. Warrior boys soccer is currently in first place in YAI Division II with a league record of 4-0-1 and overall record of 5-0-1. They are also ranked second in PIAA District 3. Warrior girls soccer is currently first place in YAI Division II with a league record of 6-0 and overall record of 7-1. The Warriors are currently ranked 4th in PIAA District 3. Warrior football is currently 2-2 on the season and ranked 12th in PIAA District 3. YAI Division II plays for the Warriors. Play begins for the Warriors on 9/19, which is in 2 days. And Warrior Golf is currently ranked 4th in the YAI Division II. So we've got a lot going on, and they're doing great. All right, item number 1302 is an update on sponsorships for your perusal, or whatever you call it. But we are looking forward to developing new partnerships in the 2025-26 school year, and we are currently working on sponsorship agreements with a few local businesses. Item number 1303. I make a motion to approve waiving the sponsorship charge for Bon Air Country Club, as they have waived all charges for the golf team's use for their facilities for many years. Bon Air Country Club, wow, I'm really messing this up, will pay for the cost of the banners. This agreement will remain in place for the next 2 years. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any questions? Haven't done one of these in so long. Any nays or abstentions? All right, this motion carries. All right, and I have no other items for business, new items of business. Back to you.
Slow down at the end.
That was a lot of sports.
All right. Committee report 14, other items of business, anyone? All right. Yeah.
Question?
Yeah.
If we are going to have our AI committee meetings monthly, do we want to maybe talk about them here, or should that be part of education? I know we were talking about having some way for the AI committee to report back to the board.
It's not a board committee, it should go under education. Makes sense, right?
Yeah, we go into education.
And that's, to the extent that we're looking at AI, it's for educational purposes. Most of the other purposes we're not interested. So that work.
Yeah, that's fine.
I
I
mean,
was just wondering.
Did you want to?
Every,
hang on.
every
I'm
month.
sorry. I'm sorry. Did you want to not have it as part of
You
education?
said if you want it under budget and finance.
You're asking me to do more work.
I mean, every month.
Where else
this
does it
poor-
go?
This poor committee report, other business is just sitting here lonely.
It is.
You know, helping out.
Don't worry, there are other changes I want to make.
like, give
You know
10
what?
more
Actually,
words.
this could be news, but new business, but I'll raise it now. I have been thinking for a while that we need to move our agenda approval after public comment, because the law does allow you to add action items to the agenda based on public comment, but we have no, I mean, we could reopen the item, you know, you could do a motion to reconsider or whatever and get back to it, but I think after public comment would be consistent with if someone raises something of interest. What do you think, Mr. Litz?
You want to do that? That's fine.
No, you don't see any major
I
pitfalls?
don't see it.
It seems like the right way to do it if the reasons for adding an agenda item include a matter raised in public comment.
This board and most boards had this basically baked into how they run a meeting for years, and then they changed the sunshine law. Now, the Supreme Court's going to eventually decide this case on one issue, so it might change the answer, but I don't think it will, so.
And it can't hurt having it in that order, even if they do change it. Right, yeah.
So to be clear, if public commenters bring up an item of business that we decide to take up, we could add that moment to the agenda?
The Sunshine Act permits you guys to amend the agenda after the 24-hour posting period in very limited circumstances. That one being if someone from the community came up at public comment, requested action on something, and it's de minimis in nature. So
it still has to be de minimis, so, but, you know, if someone, let's say if someone, knew a student was creating a deep fake, maybe would we be able to add that item that we passed tonight, to say, okay, no making deep fakes of, you know, school staff.
I could probably think of other examples I'd like better, but.
You want something simpler.
So, I mean, we might have a situation where we're struggling to get a chaperone for something, and a parent says, hey, I got all my clearances here, I just gave them to Sue Green, she's reviewed them, and I'd be happy to chaperone that trip on that, and you're like, sorry, you're not on the list, we could probably say we are gonna amend the volunteer list to add person, whatever, to the volunteer list. I think that's de minimis, and, you know, under those circumstances, so.
All right, well, we're not doing that now, because
Yeah.
they changed the order of the agenda, but I thought I'd bring it up since we're talking about change, you know, it sounded like maybe we're getting rid of the other business.
I would caution it a little bit as well, just because, now the deep fake example, maybe that one's okay. But anything where it's gonna create, there has to be other discussion because of implementation of.
Oh, yeah.
You
No,
know.
I think it needs to be small stuff or really, really emergency stuff, like if there's any way it can wait. But Jeff's example was a good one. We can, you know, you've got all your clearances right here, okay, yeah, we'll add you. Or you got your clearances ahead of the board meeting turned in, but we couldn't put it on the agenda in time. Okay, it's a thought.
So I just want to make sure I understand, is this something the board wants to discuss in the future, or are we changing this, or just so I understand?
We can put it on as an action item to change the order of the meeting, and we can discuss it.
But we can do that on a normal agenda. meeting.
Yeah. Well, look at.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying right now, yeah.
Yeah, we'll just look at policy, I think 006, just to make sure, and then.
Oh, it's definitely, I can tell you off the top of my head, it's definitely in policy 006 that this is the order.
Yeah.
So we would have to change policy.
Okay, so it's a
Probably
policy
to tweak
change.
the policy.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
put it on the next policy cycle. This is
Okay.
not urgent.
Yeah,
Just
You want to have enough for this one?
Policy.
All right, so we'll add that to the next policy cycle to take a look at that.
all right. And then we can talk. Does anyone want to get rid of other business? We never use it.
Why don't you give it to me?
Yeah, we'll give you can have two other
What do you
businesses.
think? You want to get rid of other business? Okay.
We all have opportunities to say other stuff.
Right, and there's new business as well.
Yeah.
All right.
If you're
It's at the end
okay,
of
we
every
can take a
section.
look at
I don't
the
think it really
entire
matters.
agenda and propose
Yeah, and if
changes.
there are other
that we
changes that you
don't.
think would be helpful, yeah. All right. Moving on to item 15.01, which may soon be 14.01. Legislative Council, Mrs. Mary Lee Hall.
Yes, thank you. So, first of all, a little history. Happy Constitution Day. So today is the day of commemorating the adoption of the U.S. Constitution, signed in Philadelphia on September 17th in 1787. So I thought that was a little exciting piece of information that we all appreciate our freedoms. So this past week, the Senate was in session to pass a handful of bills, and the House came in briefly to take some procedural action towards a budget, even though there isn't a budget yet. There's been some movement, however small. So Senate Bill 160 was that small little bit of movement out of the House appropriations from the committee. So when the final spending numbers are agreed upon, the bill will reflect the year 2025, 2026. There's something. And also, Senate Transportation Bill 65 was voted out of the Senate to extend the stopping distance requirement from 10 feet to 15 feet before a driver reaches a school bus. So when the red signal lights are flashing and the stop arm is activated, we need to stop a little sooner. Violations for offending drivers are also being developed in the bill as a tiered penalty system for second and subsequent offenses. So we want to keep our kids safe. And also, the Senate will remain in session through the end of the week, and the House will reconvene on Monday, the 22nd. And I just want to add a little piece of fun information, because you never know when you might get to see a local legislator at a community event. So if you're looking for some fun, I'm sure you all know that New Freedom Fest is happening this weekend in New Freedom, Pennsylvania. So it's the 20th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. in New Freedom. Every year, this wonderful event brings all kinds of folks together for live music, great food, games, arts and crafts, pet parade, Oktoberfest tent. And of course, if you get tired, you can take a relaxing ride on the NCR Trail in the Northern Central Railway. So I'm sure there'll be a lot of folks in the community that we all know and love that are going to be enjoying this event. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Moving on to 15.02, York County School of Technology. I'll turn it over to Mrs. Doberman.
Thank you. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make the meeting, but reviewing some of the report, there wasn't too much that I missed out on, I don't think. Anyway, I will be going next week, and they will be starting with the budget presentation. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. And that's all I have.
Thank you. All right, item 15.03, LIU 12. Anything, Mr. Hash?
I was not able to make the meeting because it was tonight.
Okay, well, that's a really good excuse. We can't
I thought it
even.
was.
You can't be at two places at once.
I am not able to do that yet, as much as I try.
All right, item 15.04, York Adams Tax Bureau. Anything to report? All right. 15.05, Southern York County School District Foundation, Mrs. Mary Lee Hall.
All right, yes, sir. So the foundation met last Tuesday, ready for a new school year of special plans for students in the district. The 7th annual thank you card contest is underway, welcoming students of all ages to enter to design the showcase of thank you cards to showcase our gratitude to our scholarship donors. So all entries are due on Monday, October 6th, and should be submitted to their student's main building office. And for all seniors, financial aid night is next Thursday, September 25th at 5:30 p.m. So you won't want to miss that opportunity to begin planning for college successes. It's directly aligned with the SYCSD Foundation Dollars for Scholars program, which is going to be opening in January, but you want to start getting through those processes early. So I would encourage all seniors to go to financial aid night, learn from their guidance counselors, and get all the information they need to get started on what it's going to look like coming in the future. Don't want to miss those scholarship opportunities. And Mrs. Green, is there anything that I might have missed that you would like to add?
The only other thing I'd add is the foundation talked about and approved scholarship program guidelines and regulations. As the board knows, our foundation is growing exponentially, and so we have a lot of different scholarships with a lot of different structures, so we put a structure in place so that we have guidelines to go by now for scholarship
new scholarships to the foundation.
Thank you. And that concludes the report.
All right. 15.06, other items of business. Moving on to 16.01, Secretary's report. The student activities report for August 2025 is attached for your information. 16.02, resignations and retirements. We have 3 there for your information. 16.03, other items of business. Anyone? All right, 17.01 is there for your information. 17.02, announcements by the board president and superintendent. I will announce that we had an executive session on Monday evening following the personnel and policy meeting concerning personnel matters, and another one immediately prior to this meeting discussing a legal update, personnel, special education, and student adjudication. And then we have a Buildings and Grounds Committee Tuesday, October 4th, 2025 in this building at 5:30 p.m. And the next regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of Education will be held on Thursday, October 16th, 2025 in this building beginning at 7 p.m. Dr. Bryson.
Thank you, President Hinkle. One other thing to add to both Caleb and Dr. Reppert's positive reports, and that is special congratulations to Shrewsbury special education teacher Megan Larson and Susquehannock High School chemistry teacher Jenny Bonnets for being recognized this year by the Shippensburg University Study Council as Outstanding Teachers of the Year. Looking forward to joining both of them coming up in November at Shippensburg University for a luncheon and a celebration awards for both of them as well as their family members. And both of them, from my own personal experience of being in their classrooms, are outstanding. So big thank you to both of them and their commitment to Southern York County School District. Well deserved.
Thank you.
That's it.
Item 18, new business. Hearing none. Item 19, I'll move to adjourn the meeting. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any nays or abstentions? Hearing none, we are adjourned.